Doug Roland, a NASA scientist who's taken his team to Ny-Ålesund on the island of Svalbard. The island lies beneath one of two regions near Earth's poles called the cusps. It's where we can access space directly, and where 100 tons of atmosphere escapes into space each day. This escape gives clues to how long an atmosphere will last, and ultimately, whether it stays around long enough to sustain life.
This is not an accurate graphic of Earth's magnetosphere. I feel like I have to say that every day and every time they come out with a new video, but here it is, an inaccurate representation of Earth's magnetosphere again. Climate change is caused by space weather. It's not caused by human activity, although it is accelerated by human activity. No matter what we do, no matter how many things we stop, we will not change climate change. It will not cease to exist. The reason why the oceans have not raised is this right here. NASA every day makes videos showing exactly why climate change is caused by space weather and why the anomalies of the magnetospheric bands causing effects to the atmospheric layers is why our seas haven't risen, because these right here, these polar cusps that they're talking about in this brand new video in 2019 NASA put out today, explains why we are losing 85% of the Earth's atmosphere every day through these polar cusps, and why all of the atmospheric density that is being lost would have been the seas raising. In 2014, I found out exactly why it is that no human being leaves the thermosphere, why all nations stopped 230 miles up. Marco Durante showed that ionizing radiation causes cancer, and ESA shows that neurological failures are inevitable, and that's why not only can we not shoot human beings up there past the thermosphere, but we can't send any major crafts outside of the exosphere, because when you start to hit the plasmasphere, you start to encounter fields of radiation in which that destroys our equipment, for the same reason that you hear at NASA always talking about how when major solar storms or these large events from solar weather happen, these anomalies from the polar cusps allow more radiant properties to come through the polar cusps. Instead of all of the elements falling out, elements are pushed in, and that affects all of our satellites. That's why there's the suits that they have to wear at the International Space Station. That's why they have safe rooms that keep them safe from solar storms. There's 1% that is in the Earth's magnetospheric bands that makes it through the bow shock, and 1% of that filters down through these polar cusps into the thin layer of atmosphere that's down there. And that is why we have, here on Earth, some space radiation. But it's also why the ionization from that space radiation is causing the depletion of molecular structures from our lower atmospheric layers to our upper atmospheric layers, and through the polar cusps, they're falling out the magnetospheric bands through neutral points. That's all that's happening. We cannot change it, we cannot stop it. We don't even understand what makes the Earth's magnetosphere. We try to say that it's the iron core, but Uranus, Neptune, all of these celestial bodies prove that that's not it. We're just making shit up. The end.